guys, I do this a little bit on the fly here, so as it goes, I'll just dive right in. It is a general read. Take it as it resonates. Time frames, of course, will be relevant for you. Some people work through their issues and problems and difficulties at a greater rate, and some might need a little more time to kind of work through things depending on your support systems and all the other things, those factors. So, as I mentioned, you're not all making decisions on a Monday or a Friday. So, again, if it's not your story, then check back. But otherwise, this is what I have for you, Scorpio. And again, this is for April 2025. So I've pre-pulled the cards, and I'll just kind of go through them on an individual basis, and then we'll tie everything in. Basically, every third one is kind of your clarifier, or the main card, and then there's two following, which are your clarifiers. And then I'll try to give you a little bit of a summary on your time frame. So in short, we're looking at, again, Temperance card. This does look like there is a factor here about trying to balance something out in your world, and there could also be a healing that's taking place. We also have the Ten of Pentacles, which is dealing with issues around family, or could be healing something regarding family. And again, I'll tie it all in here in a second. We also have the Two of Cups. So again, it feels like a decision needs to be made, or could be in the process of being made. There's something here that's relevant around an emotional situation nonetheless. And we also have the Four of Swords. So there is some kind of strong feeling of healing vibe for sure. But Four of Swords, again, sort of outlines the need for rest and relaxation, recuperation, stepping back from things. Ten of Swords, this feels like a lot of mental worry, a lot of mental anguish, a lot of mental concerns on some level. So this could also be harsh words in regards to family or situation that is involving family, or perhaps family in some way is helping with a healing situation. But either way, we'll just keep going here. Four of Pentacles, trying to find some level of stability here, which does look to be that is going to be the case. And of course, tens are always indicative of things finishing up a cycle. So there's something there that's nearing a completion. There is something in around the finances and dealing with, this can be taxes or corporations or anything that is dealing with a structured environment that is higher, dealing with a higher value. And in other words, it could be something with not only just corporate energy, but also anything that's relating around religion, or aspects of a higher ranking of some sort in those spheres. So anyway, that's keep going here. Empress, again, it could be dealing with a mother figure. And again, this is something in regards to a lot of level of abundance. So it could be financial, but we'll kind of pull it all together. But there is something here regarding possibly a mother figure, or again, something here with a lot of abundance that's coming in. We are dealing with the Ten of Wands. This is, hi, Rip. Okay. And then the Ten of Wands is definitely dealing with something here. It's an end cycle. You are definitely, whatever this is, you're about to either make money or complete some level of healing. Something is moving up on the chain here, because tens and tens, and especially too with the Chariot, there's a lot of ambition. There's a lot going forward. There's a lot of motivation. You are definitely in a decision-making process here. And it looks like it could be dealing with levels of, this can represent finances, but it can also represent feeling not good enough, or not worthy enough, or not feeling like you've got enough, something along that line. So either way, we'll tie it all in. And again, the moon is an indication that you're dealing with a lot of layers of, the emotional aspects of things. So this is things around, levels of emotion, as well as dealing with illusions. And again, there could be some level of that because of, it's right next to not feeling like, you're not quite strong enough in some way. But again, I'm dealing with this on career, money, finance, as well as on a relationship level, as well as we're going to be covering areas for health. And then the King of Pentacles. So this really lands on a good card. And we do have some really strong cards here. So again, this is a clarifier, but it is also a long-range money-making card. This is somebody who knows how to deal with money. This is somebody that could be very entrepreneurial, but certainly does things in a way that isn't high risk-taking, but they have a good sense of money on some level. So their decisions are, and this could be influencing you, if not you. Okay, so water sign energy here, Aquarius, is very strong with the Temperance for me. But anyway, but again, Scorpio, we're going to go through it here in summary. And I'm going to pull it all together here. So this is a layered spread. So what I mean by that is it is dealing with, like I said, career, money, relationships, internal healing, all of that. And we'll give you a little bit of a breakdown as far as time frame as well as advice. Hi, Aquarius. Hi, Jay. So anyway, this could, and again, if this is your story, even if you're not a Scorpio, this may be your story, but this is what I'm putting out there. Okay, so I do feel like the time frame from April to June is really a period of emotional and material kind of recalibration for Scorpios. So it feels like you're getting rid of the things that kind of pulled away from your strength and really putting you into more of an empowering version of yourself. And this comes in terms of, because you're really balancing things out with the Temperance card. So this is really about your self-worth, your finances, and your relationships. And I do feel with Pluto being your ruler, and it is retrograding in Aquarius, so it does indicate you're detaching emotionally from old traumas and reconstructing your internal dialogue and your foundation, things like that. Now, there is a full moon in Aquarius, or sorry, in Scorpio, April 23rd. So there's some kind of deep emotional situation, which is, perfect for kind of letting things go and releasing. You've got a lot of things here for 10. So you've got 10 of Pentacles, you have 10 of Swords. So there's definitely some kind of completion for you. Things are definitely wrapping up. You also have 10 of Wands. So there's been a real hardship, and it's been a burden physically. It's been a burden mentally. And I feel like with the 10 of Pentacles, it could be around legacy money. It can be around family as well. And hi, Julie. So, but anyway, we also have Jupiter in Taurus, which is opposite Scorpio, and that expands your awareness and relationships and personal values. So again, there's something here about finances and stability. And then there is Saturn in Pisces. And again, guys, I'm not full on with the astrology. I am trying to do some research, so bear with me. And I try to do a little bit of that before I do some of the read here. But I do still feel like Saturn in Pisces, which is trining in Scorpio, so it's long-term support for emotional issues, and that's more of a maturity. So again, it's dealing with healing patterns and all of those things creatively as well. So back to career, money, finance, and our general read here. So I feel like 10 of Pentacles, you're in that stage of building long-term wealth. I mean, this is what you have committed to, especially with the King of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles. I feel like this is all about, legacy, wanting to leave something behind. This is about family and security. Again, we do have a lot of mature energy here. And of course, that was in around the King of Pentacles at the very end. And I want to show you that I should mention at the very end, at bottom of the deck was the Queen of Pentacles. So we have the King and Queen of Pentacles. That's a really good balance. So I feel like whoever that is that's coming in for you, this could be a very long-term commitment or a really strong commitment, really good balanced energy, especially when I'm also seeing the Four of Pentacles coming out here as well. So I do feel like it's kind of power couple dynamic is what I'm getting there with the King and the Queen of Pentacles. So if this isn't happening yet, I feel like this is about to. So again, there is this issue around, because that's really good internal balance. I mean, this is, people both on the same track, financially. This is somebody who likes to deal with, where the money goes. This is somebody who also deals with the money and resources and knows where to put things and deals with them from a really practical sense. So that's a really, like I said, a really good pairing. I do feel like a lot around family, a lot around the home front. So there's also with that Four of Pentacles energy, something showing that you've been hanging on very tightly to your money at this time, or very withdrawn about your energy as far as communication. So I feel like there is a sense of fearing being fearing scarcity, not having enough money, something like that. That's also coming through here for whoever this resonates for. So the lesson here is just to release some of that fear and trust your ability to manifest, because a lot of these are very strong cards. Now I want to say in terms of advice, of course, this is, you would already have this in mind to invest in things that have more long-term value for you. And it's very savings oriented, investing in things that have more, value, that would be, property or something that's more of a safe haven. It's not anything that's going to be high risk. So your skills, you would have more of a very skilled mindset for something like a trade or whatever it is, or, banking or whatever this is, but you're very skilled at something because this is all mature energy that's coming out here. Now, in terms of your physicality, and again, this is going to speak to you all a little different because there's different Scorpios out there. I want to say that we are dealing with a lot of swords energy here. So I'm going to pull that forward here. And of course, the moon is also dealing with a lot of that mental energy here. And of course, we have the 10 of Wands. So I'm feeling like the 10 of Swords, the 4 of Swords, there's a need for rest, relaxation, recuperation, and again, finding the middle ground and healing with the Temperance card. So I feel like you've been, if not mentally ill for some, and I don't mean that in any callous way, of course. I mean, there's been so much pressure and things going on for a lot of people in the world and, over a really long period of time. So, I mean, it can really catch up on people. Sometimes people put a lot of issues, into the background until they can actually deal with them. And then when it rises up, it's sort of all at once. So I just feel like you've been hit kind of mentally, physically. There's been a lot of overwork, and it could be emotional loss that you were dealing with, and there may have been a certain level of isolation for some of you. But either way, I feel like there's a need for deep rest. This is, again, very strong healing cards coming out here, also with the 4 of Swords. But again, this is all about, reaching out for therapy or reaching out for, a vacation or doing something that helps you to feel like you're not carrying everything. So, and again, this can be delegating here as well, but I just feel like your impact, the things that have impacted you could be around sleep and all of that as well, because I see with the 10 of Wands, this is adrenal function, having high cortisol, all of that stuff that's kind of going through, and it does lower your immunity to a certain degree. So again, really strong information here, at least as far as prioritizing your health, because whatever is sort of dropped, you need to not feel this need to control everything. Look after yourself. Sometimes you got to pull it back, rein it in. And I feel like there's a certain level of that with that 4 of Pentacles here, staying quiet and just letting your body heal and listen to your body. So try not to control everything. Now, as far as love and emotional energy goes, I want to say here, we do have the 2 of Cups and we also have 10 of Pentacles. So even your connections here seem to be, there's more support coming out here. So, I mean, as far as a romantic connection, like I said, I did see the King of Pentacles with the Queen. So for some of you, this is coming in, but I almost feel like you actually know this because I have got the Hierophant here. So it feels like this is somebody that's known to you. And I say that because there is more of a deepening of this connection. This is a long-term connection, and especially when I see the 10 of Pentacles out there, it feels like somebody you consider family. This is long-term, over, extended period of years. And of course with the 10, and again, this is still with the 2 of Cups, really heartfelt, emotional energy. There could have been something here with this soul connection, or this, committed relationship, maybe dealing with some kind of a pregnancy issue or something for some, and for others it might have been relating around strong mother figure energy with that Empress. But I still feel like overall this kind of speaks to there being some hidden emotions here as well with the Moon card that was coming out. So it feels like there's been some levels of insecurity around a connection, hidden emotions, things that weren't being understood, seeing clearly, things along that line. But again, of course, trusting your intuition is strongly coming through here. But I feel like it's been a really strong time of emotional vulnerability, and you haven't really felt safe in some way, and maybe in terms of intimacy or growing in that way on a deeper level. I do feel again like the advice would be coming through to speak more openly because of all the cards that I see here, feeling like you're not good enough, strong enough, maybe to handle something. But again, the cards of 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords, again, it's the end cycle of it, but you might still have a residual of the energy here, but it still tells me, and hi there, champion leader. Yeah, no, good to see you here. Thanks for joining from India. I will ask a question here on yours at the end. I just don't want to confuse too much of the read. But overall, like I said, I just feel like the energy here is that you kind of need to sort of soften a little bit, because that 10 of Swords feels like you've kind of cut yourself off. There's been some really harsh emotion, harsh words possibly here, and you're still in a withdrawn kind of state. Now, there is something here about, this connection has been a little on the intense side, is what I would say there, especially with all that energy. And again, Ten of Swords, the Moon, the Five of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, as I mentioned, this is all energy about old betrayals, abandonment wounds, self-worth issues, and all of that is at the surface. So things feel a little bit raw, I would say, at this time. So again, the Moon adding that emotional confusion and fears, and then, given the illusion of doubt, it feels like you're not really seeing what is, left behind, because you're feeling financial pressure, loneliness, a fear of being left behind, something along that line where there's just been a lot to deal with. And even though you don't think you're capable of it, getting past it or dealing with the situation or moving forward with someone, I feel like that is really where you're at odds with yourself. So again, the advice would be, don't isolate. Try to seek more clarity in a situation. Doesn't mean trying to resolve everything at one go, but certainly getting a little bit more on par with someone, and just listening instead of like, allow yourself some time to see another person's perspective instead of impulsively making a decision about what you think is going on. So again, we had the energy of the Chariot. Now, the Chariot is also really good energy for going forward. It's momentum. It's, keep going is the message, basically. So it's also, you taking control over your life. And there's something here that has felt a little bit chaotic, like I said, because of all the cards here with the Ten of Swords and all of that, and the Ten of Wands. And I feel like this is you kind of going back to ground zero with the Temperance card. It's like you've pulled way back now, and you're trying to regain a sense of yourself, or regain a sense of balance. So there's something here about healing yourself right now, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and then you're going to start to see that things start to balance out as far as the giving and the receiving, listening instead of talking, and kind of taking the polarizing, the opposite effect to something, things along that line. So it's really letting go with all of this energy, Ten of Swords, Ten of Wands, letting that go, and then allowing yourself to move into more of a nurturing place. So sometimes you can't understand why something happened, but you can also see what's left to grow and go forward. So it's less about whether you were right or wrong. It's more about how do we get clear on going forward is really what I see here. So the Empress, again, could be dealing with a strong mother figure here, or in some way it's influencing the read, and maybe there was, having to release something around that. But this is a nurturing, creative, abundant energy. So I feel like you're starting to create a new foundation. It's okay to slow it down and then build it properly. Lots of energy here around slow, methodical, growing things forward again. Very committed energy, lots of ambition. The Chariot card, lots of cards of putting money in the right places, taking time for yourself here again, and again, just doing things in a very grounded, methodical, slow kind of process. So despite the fact that I feel it's been a long cycle of burnout and emotional heaviness, and scarcity's been on your mind, I feel like you're going to start moving into more of an abundant place. This is where you've got more self-worth, or you feel better about yourself. You're feeling like the money is there again, or it feels like it's not been taken away. So it's adding to more of that security, that value, that balance. And it's also opening you up to receive. So I feel like overall, really good energy for you, Scorpio. I feel like you're really starting to kind of own yourself here, and things are becoming a lot more authentic. Okay, and I'm just going to answer one question before I kind of go on to my next reads. But and also just below that was the Justice card. So things are really going to start balancing out for you, even on a contractual basis. And if I went even further, you also have the Nine of Cups, and you also had the Nine of Wands. Lots of burnout energy, but I still feel like, even wish fulfillment could be coming in just a little further out. But anyway, for the month of April, and again, I kind of brought it through to a little bit of a June sort of time frame for some more of this energy, because it is big energy. It's heavy energy. I feel that you're dealing with. Okay, so champion leader. Let's see. What does the universe have for champion leader? Okay, what's coming in for champion leader? in the more immediate future here over the next couple of months? What is coming in? Career, money, finance, as well as relationship energy, anything like that. Okay, it feels like you're distancing yourself from something. What is the Eight of Cups? Oh, 10 of Cups. Page of Wands. Strength card. Queen of Swords. 5 of Wands. Oh, and 5 of Swords. I don't know if you've been battling something here. Okay, and the bottom of the deck was also 9 of Pentacles there. So let me just see if I can shift this a little bit. Okay, so I'll just read through it in a general way first, and then we'll kind of go through some more of the details. All right, so for champion leader, and I'll ask maybe, or I'll do one more too for magic grow. Okay, so what I see here, like right off the cuff, 8 of Cups is, like I say, it feels like you're kind of distancing yourself from something, and it feels like it's an emotional situation. It does feel like it could be around family with the 10 of Cups coming up here as well. But it's definitely something that has been, or maybe you're at a distance here. But either way, the Page of Wands, the Strength card, it feels like there's something that's going to be communicated to you here in a short while. You just have to push through it a little bit longer here to kind of get to the other sides. But like I said, could be dealing with an air sign here as well with the Queen of Swords. That is Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. So I'm going to just pull it forward this way so it doesn't look too confusing. And again, we've also got the 5 of Wands, so it feels like there's been some tension there, and then all of a sudden there's a level of clarity or new information that comes in that helps you to sort of see where things are headed. If it's a communication, it's a very direct communication, not heartfelt, big, warm, fuzzy, nothing like that. But again, with the 5 of Swords, it does feel like the communication has been a little bit indifferent. We also have the 9 of Pentacles here. It gives me a feeling that this could be in around money, but I would still say it feels like a little isolating, alone, or in some way feeling very independent of this other energy. But again, we'll try career, money, finance. I'm going to tie it all back in together here and with relationship energy and just sort of see where we go. Back in here. Okay, so starting off with the 8 of Cups, like I said, this does kind of give me that indicator with not just the 8 of Cups, but we had the 8 of Cups and we also have that Page of Wands. Actually, let's kind of start with that. The Page of Wands, and then we had the Ace of Swords coming out here. So they're all minor arcana, really, though. So I want to just, except for the Strength card. Strength card was the one that came out that you've got the energy to sort of persevere, push through it, whatever the situation is here. That dynamic is still kind of filtering. You're still working through it. But I would still say you're entering a new phase in your career. If we're aiming it on that level, that's kind of where things are going. It's like there's a new career, new phase in your career that's coming up here. So some kind of new role or a business idea or a creative venture, something like that. Ace of Swords can indicate that this is the news of that coming in here as well, or it's also, again, I'm taking it in career, money, finance. So this is, and relationships, and the Ace of Swords is a breakthrough as well. So it's something here about you knowing your own value. And it's also decided to possibly cut ties with something that doesn't work for you anymore. And that's where the 8 of Cups is, because I do sense that distance there. And again, even with the 9 of Pentacles energy, there's some kind of level of distance there. Still good money, still self-sufficient, independent, but it feels like money is improving and you're getting more clarity and feeling more confident, and you're trusting yourself more. It feels like, the advice, of course, would be to stay relevant, like stay sharp and try to avoid mind games and all of that, because the 5 of Wands tells me there's some level of competition around you. It's like somebody's competing with you on some level. And there's also that 5 of Swords energy, which is, can be mind games, things like that. Now, the Eight of Cups and the Ten of Cups, which were really the ones that initially came out. So we'll go back into that. Eight of Cups and our Ten of Cups. So this energy is you kind of, again, distancing yourself, walking away from something. Again, this could be around something that was emotionally not fulfilling for you. But this could be around a family relationship. It doesn't have to be, but it feels like this is somebody that really made you happy at one time, though. So that's the thing. It's like it once held promise. It was something that was really quite positive. So I don't know if there was a deceit or a power struggle or some kind of manipulation or something here, but it's almost like you've decided to cut ties with someone emotionally, or maybe they were mentally toxic or something like that. And you're looking for something that's more aiming for more authentic emotional happiness, because that's what the Ten of Cups is. You want to get closer to this, and you want something that's more honest for yourself. If you're single, I would say you're prioritizing your peace. And if you're partnered, you're expecting deeper conversations, or you want to have a more serious connection, like where you're both on the same track. So I would say in terms of personal growth, the emotional energy here with the Strength card coming out is, you've got the fortitude to kind of push through things right now. And I feel like you're finding your inner strength to get there, so that you're mentally and emotionally much more resilient. This is also a card of self-mastery, so emotionally disciplining yourself. And again, there's a lot of cards of clarity. Getting clear is what I feel like you're doing over the next couple of months. Really getting clear on the things that you want, what will make you happy. And again, if you are, because that Knight of Pentacles, it's like you're stepping out of a phase of, like, I see self-worth here, but it's like, it's almost like you're taking it to the next level where you're trying to just do you, be stronger, be more independent, be more of, like, more empowered. But it's almost like you had to kind of emotionally detach in some way and able to be there or get there. But there is still some level of emotional healing that's present here. It's coming through by you detaching in some way and able to find that level of emotional strength. So again, when we get to, and I don't know if this is resonating for you, but this is what I see. So Five of Wands, Five of Swords. Again, this is something about internal, external conflicts, drama, people kind of projecting their ego onto you. But also there's something here about not being understood, so it feels like you're fighting to be heard, something like that, and kind of being pulled into petty games. But either way, I feel like over the next couple of months, you're going to kind of walk away from that, separate yourself from it, to sort of realign with yourself again, is what it feels like. You're moving toward more of an independent sort of idea of how you see yourself. There is messages of some sort coming through with the Page of Wands. And we also have, like I said, a level of clarity. Lots of cards of getting clear on what you want. So it's almost like getting really direct with people. You're not going to be playing small anymore. Like, you're just getting out there and being a lot more direct. Like I said, I feel like you're getting rid of the things that drain you at this period. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight, and hopefully that was kind of what you were aiming for. All right, so now I'll do Magic Grow. Okay, Magic Grow. You're welcome, Champion Leader. Magic Grow, what's coming in for Magic Grow? Career, money, finance in the next couple of months. What are the issues that they're dealing with? Best advice. Magic Grow, what's coming in? Relationships. Okay, sort of an enduring quality there as well. Something that you're having to kind of be resilient with. Looks like a little bit of confusion for you. Big shift coming, though. Big decision. Wheel of Fortune is what? Around money, job seems to be strong. Seven of Cups is the Lovers. Confusion around a connection or connections. Strength card is, I see family for you too. And something around a mother figure. And again, there's something here with the Two of Cups. Could be very soul felt kind of connection. All right, so let's break it down. Okay, so again, there's something here about with the Strength card, and again, I'll just do it. It's general, of course, but this one is for Magic Grow. Okay. I want to say with the Strength card being next to the Ten of Pentacles, again, yours is kind of sort of aiming for something along a long-term connection here. And again, they could be dealing with family here as well, but Strength card, and again, the Ten of Pentacles, this feels like it's a long-term connection. Again, could be family, could be dealing with wealth, legacy, could be dealing with a mother figure, like I said, that could be relevant. And somehow there is also, this could be you as well with the Empress, but there is a very strong soul bond with the Two of Cups. And I also had the Seven of Cups. It feels like, again, this could be independently. It just means having a lot of choices or options available to you. But because it's next to the love connection, I kind of think that it has more to do with confusion around a relationship, maybe where you stand with this person. We do have a big shift coming, like I said, with the Wheel of Fortune. And I feel like this is a very long-term sort of venture, because I'm seeing a lot to do with money with yours actually as well. So this has to do with, like, the Eight of Pentacles is still working hard for it. So it is something about kind of crafting your, what you do, and being good at something. And certainly it does kind of indicate there is something here about finances are very strong in your reading. Very, very strong. Okay, so let's just kind of combine everything here. Okay, so in terms of relationships, I want to say that this is a very good spread, because even though I'm seeing there's a lot of confusion or possible options there, like I said, I feel like there's a lot of positive cards overall. So the Strength card does indicate that there's a lot of passion or a lot of connection with something here. It's also that you're very close to, there's like strong finances here, again, with the situation. So I'm still feeling that there is something that you're working towards. This could be you or someone else, but it's about generational success, and it's definitely calling for more of a stable environment. And I feel like you're really developing your skill set in something, especially with that Eight of Pentacles. So I feel like you're really putting in the effort. You're really trying to get yourself really good at something. It does point to possible entrepreneurship, that kind of thing, but it's a passion project, and it's something that you're kind of building up to. Like I said, because the Ten of Pentacles is a little further out, Wheel of Fortune means that things are turning in your favor, especially in a financial sense. And it is something that's going to be a big shift that is possibly unexpected. And I say that just because there's the Lovers can also be a decision card, as well as the Two of Cups here. So it's almost like there's a couple of big decisions here that are coming forward. I want to say that this could be a promotion as well for some of you, or for Magic Grows, could be a promotion. But it feels like whatever you're shifting into, it's like a sudden break free to something much more positive. And again, the Strength card still kind of reminds you, that just to be patient, but be grounded, push through, because your persistence will pay off, basically. So I feel like this is quiet power, and just to keep showing up, planting the seeds, and don't get distracted, because there's big rewards coming in for you. In terms of a connection, I would say the thing is I'm not really, I mean, you could be dealing with a Gemini, actually. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, for whatever reason, those seem to be the ones that kind of stand out for me. But it feels like a soul contract, like somebody you're really connected to, for sure. So air sign is really strong here, but Gemini especially. But again, I still feel like there's a lot of attraction. I feel like you or someone else is quite attractive, very beautiful, or very, masculine, but you attract a lot of attention here, because I feel like the relationship here again was a soulful connection because of that Two of Cups energy. But again, it still kind of speaks to me as though, There's a lot that you're building with this one. Like it's a deepening of that relationship. Everything is going to start moving to more of an alignment, even more of an alignment. It's like a closer connection, something like that. Now, I want to say with the Seven of Cups, it was kind of a warning that there might be a little bit of fantastical sort of thinking, like, maybe too much illusion or too much idea. This could be rose-colored glasses kind of idea. But I feel like your decisions are still coming from more about truth versus illusion. So I don't know how to explain that exactly, but just stay grounded basically, and let things flow naturally. Don't add undue pressure to something, like make it bigger than it is. Let it just sort of rise naturally to the surface here. So it does feel like you're in a period of, big growth and aligning with things is what that Wheel of Fortune was. Big growth emotionally, lots of depth, and certainly your finances, all of that is sort of coming in. I feel like you're building something that's lasting. It's not temporary. You're really aligning with your values, your vision, all of that. And again, it feels like it's a destined moment for something, to happen. So the universe is really here to support you because you are aligned with what you're supposed to be aligned with. So this again would include soulmates, abundance, anything that has a long-term reward. And again, there's a lot of emotional clarity, but again, the key theme here would still be avoid distractions and any kind of emotional fog with the Seven of Cups. Don't let yourself get caught up into delusions. But I feel like April to June is probably the time frame for all of this, but I still feel like really good energy for you. You've actually got a lot of really good things going on there. Anyway, that's what I have for you, Scorpio, and actually Page of Wands is right at the bottom of the deck too, so that's more information. This could be dealing with a younger person here as well. One more mature possibly with that Empress energy, but either way, it does feel like there's strong air sign energy here. So anyway, keep moving forward. That's what I have for you for Scorpio. And that last read, of course, was for Magic Grow. So take it as it resonates. You're welcome. And hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight. So I'm going to do probably one more read before I finish up here. And until the next one.